Imagine a company reporting record profits. Investors are happy, banks are willing to lend more money, and management is celebrating. But what if those profits are fake? This is exactly where SA 240 comes into the picture. SA 240 deals with the auditor's responsibility relating to fraud in an audit of financial statements. Today I'll explain SA 240 using how auditors detect fraud in practice. AC 240 requires auditors to obtain reasonable assurance that the financial statements are free from material misstatements caused by fraud. A common misconception is that auditors are responsible for detecting every fraud. That's not true. A primary responsibility for preventing and detecting fraud lies with management and those charged with compliance. The auditor responsibility is to identify fraud risks and perform procedures to address those risks. So the primary responsibility for preventing and detecting fraud lies with the management as well as TCWG. And the auditor's responsibility is just to identify. Auditor's responsibility is only to identify and perform procedures to address those risks. And let's take a real life scenario. Let's assume we are auditing ABC Electronics Private Limited. Last year, sales was 10 crore, trade receivables 1 crore, current year sales increased to 15 crore, increased by 5 crore, trade receivables 4 crore. Management proudly claims that business has grown by 50%. At first glance, everything looks great. But as auditors, we don't stop there. Under SA 240, we apply professional skepticism. We ask ourselves, if sales increased by 50%, why did receivables increase by 300%? This unusual relationship is the first fraud indicator. Step 1. It is analytical procedures, SA 240. The auditor performs analytical procedure. Sales growth is to 50%, receivable growth 300%. This mismatch raises suspicion. Maybe customers are not paying, or maybe some sales never actually happen. This is the main thing. Some sales have never actually happened. This is a fraud risk factor. Now step 2 comes to inquiry of management. The auditor asks management, why have receivables increased so insignificantly? The management replies, we have given extended credit to customers. Sounds reasonable, but under 240, auditors don't simply accept explanations, they verify them. So as auditors, we should always verify the client's documents. Data confirmations. For verification, we should first do data confirmation. The auditor sends balance confirmations directly to customers. Suppose several customers reply, we never purchased goods. Now the auditor has evidence that some sales may be fictitious. The fraud risk becomes much stronger. Now journal entry testing. Testing the books of accounts. SA 240 specifically requires auditors to test journal entries because these management and override controls. The auditor reviews entries passed on 31st March. A large entry found trade receivables debit to sales 50 lakh. No supporting dispatch documents, no customer purchase order, no transport evidence. This is a major red flag. Now, obtain further evidence. The auditor examines invoices, e-way bills, delivery challans, customer correspondence, whether goods actually left the godown or not. If it is external, then excise duty. If supporting evidence is missing, the auditor may conclude that revenue has been overstated. Management oversight of controls. One of the most important concepts in AC 240 is management oversight of controls. Even if a company has excellent internal controls, senior management may bypass them. Therefore, AC 240 requires special audit procedures for journal entries, accounting estimates, and significant unusual transactions. So here we have seen when the sales of 50 lakh was there, this is unusual transaction. That's what AC 240 teaches us. The auditor does not assume fraud risk, but also does not assume that management is always honest. Professional skepticism is the heart of AC 240. So auditors should always be aware. I hope I made myself clear with AC 240 practical examples. If you like the podcast, do let me know in the comments, and also for such videos, please share, comment and subscribe.